Hi everyone, this is Pat. Giving my shot at this whole movie review discussion thing. I've always loved movies, books, anything like that, so I just wanted to start this channel so I can have an opportunity to talk about the things that I like. So the first movie I wanted to talk about is Godzilla Minus One, which I saw a few weeks back, and I had some mixed feelings about it. So what I really appreciated about this movie was what it was able to do on its budget. Um, and I think the budget was only $15 million, something like that. And it is really remarkable what they were able to do. Um, I thought the scenes with Godzilla were really great. I mean, it was just Godzilla was so cool in this movie, and they really spent their budget and wisely. They focused on the scenes that really mattered. They focused on the scenes with Godzilla, and I was able to see some kind of like cheap looking backgrounds, CGI that didn't look the best, but I thought that the CGI with Godzilla looked really great. And I'm not a Godzilla aficionado or anything like that. I've only seen the Matthew Broderick Godzilla, and I think the Ken Watanabe and the kid from Kick Ass did a Godzilla in 2014 or something like that. Um, Both of those movies were not very memorable to me. I think the Godzilla in this one is by far my favorite. Just the way that Godzilla moves in this movie is just awesome. I think it was kind of paying tribute to the older movies that were made with like claymation and models. So he is very stiff, and he moves in a way that doesn't make him feel like a creature. It makes him feel more like this entity or being or God. And that really worked for me. And I think they even like one thing I noticed towards the end of the movie, there's a transition where he's going from on land to in the water, and they actually just like cut. So they show him on the beach, they cut to something else, and then when they cut back, he's fully submerged in the water and swimming. So we actually don't even get to see these like full range of animations. It's really just him. There's like a walking animation and a swimming animation. And there's a few others, but it's just like they really limited the animations that Godzilla has, and I'm sure that was like a budget restriction as well. But I think it actually worked really well because like the more animations you have, the more Godzilla I think would start to feel like some sort of creature or animal that we are familiar with. You have to base your animations on something, and you're basing them on real life. And so as soon as you start putting in all of these animations, then it starts feeling more like an animal. And Godzilla really didn't feel like an animal to me in this movie. Like it felt like this, yeah, this ancient being, which I really enjoyed. Um, some of the stuff I didn't enjoy. Um, I will say like the characters and kind of the emotional beats of the movie didn't work so well for me. I thought, and this is going to be spoiler alert. I think all my videos are going to be spoiler. I never stop at spoilers. I watch, if I'm watching something, I'm either okay with it being spoiled or I've already seen the thing. Um, so the woman dies at the halfway point, and that really didn't impact me or hit me. I don't think we had enough time to really get to know her. And I also had um, just some of the choices of the main actor, I don't think particularly worked just for me. Um, he really chose, like, in these moments of grief, like after the woman dies, he chooses to really, like, go for it. So kudos to him for going for it. but he's like screaming his head off in despair. Um, and when actors like make that choice, at least in this instance, it didn't work for me. It felt like he was too much like trying to force the emotion. And when the movie is telling you like you should be feeling this, then like I'm immediately immune to that feeling. I don't want to feel it. So it just didn't feel maybe like as natural as I would have liked. And I wish the actor had played it a little bit more subtle. Um, just because I think it would have resonated with me a lot more if it was a much more subtle performance. So that's one critique. Another critique: don't bring people back from the dead. um, it's just a pet peeve of mine. And at the end of the movie, we see that the woman, oh, she's not dead, and she's in the hospital, and she has some light bandaging over her head and a little sling, and she's like looking beautiful somehow. Um, and I was just like, please don't do that. It's just, for me, it's so annoying and undercuts any emotion that you tried to have and for me didn't achieve. Um, so there's that. And then in terms of the plot, so this is something that I think it just depends if it works for you, if these sort of themes resonate with you. But for me, like the whole theme of, our main character has this sense of shame and regret about not acting when he needed to most, and it led to the death of his comrades. And so he's dealing with all of these feelings, and he has to make the decision: is he going to sacrifice himself and try to like redeem the wrongs that he views he did in the past? And he's really struggling with this decision. And it was actually something when I saw it in theaters, like this moment got a lot of laughs. So there's this flashback moment where the mechanic friend is showing that there's an ejector seat in this airplane. You don't have to kill yourself. You don't have to ram into Godzilla and kill yourself. You can just eject beforehand. And this scene is supposed to be super emotional, but the theater I saw it with, it got a ton of laughs. People were cracking up that this guy was considering killing himself when there was an ejector seat available. So I think just some of these themes the movie presents just didn't land with a Western audience, that maybe it would have landed better with a Japanese audience, which makes total sense. But I think there was at least a disconnect for me versus like the themes and the characters in this movie really resonating. But I do think this movie's well worth your time. Super fun. I hope they make more movies like this. Like, if they make a new Godzilla movie, I'll totally go see it. Just for Godzilla, though. That's really what stood out to me. Was I really like this iteration of Godzilla, and it made me want to go back and watch a lot of those older movies. So, credit to this movie. I thought it did a lot of things well. I hope they make another one and kind of iterate, make the characters and plot something that resonates with me more. And we'll see. So, thanks for tuning in. See you.